These things just get harder and harder to take. This is Bill Apter, September 17th, 2017, and I've just received confirmation of the death of Bobby the Brain Heenan. I don't have anything written down in front of me here. I first met, but first of all, when you talk about someone who was truly legendary, spectacular, incredible at his craft, it was Bobby Heenan. When I first saw him in the late 1969 into the early 70s, when he was working for Bruiser, Dick the Bruiser's promotions down in Indianapolis, Detroit area, when he was a wrestler, and then he hooked up with Blackjack Lanza, and eventually, as you all know, he wound up with making himself a huge star in the AWA, starting, where he just rocketed to greatness as a manager. And of course, he had the Blackjacks and he had many other people, but the main attraction with Bobby Heenan was the team of Bobby Heenan and Nick Bockwinkel, and Ray Stevens at times too, when Bockwinkel and Stevens teamed. But magnificent is the only word that I can really tack on to what that pairing was like. You had the quick-witted, so fast-witted Bobby Heenan as the mouthpiece for the very intellectual Nick Bockwinkel, who could speak as well, very well. And the two of them together were just, I've never seen anything between a manager and a wrestler ever since. He was absolutely fantastic. Then, of course, when he came to WWE as a manager, but and a commentator, boy, one of the jobs of someone like him, who was trying so hard to be a bad guy, and he's one of the sweetest people I've ever met, his job was to make you dislike or hate him, and he got that done. When he used to come down with one of his people, he was heavily booed. And then the days, of course, working as a broadcaster with Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone and WCW. Great memories. Bobby and I always had this shtick that we used to do. We used to always friendly imitate Pedro Morales when Morales was WWF champion. Pedro would do his interviews and he'd always pound his chest and go, "I am ready for any kind of action, baby." And Bobby used to always ask me to do that imitation. And anytime Bobby would be around the ring, even at WCW, and I'd be at ringside shooting pictures, he would always work his way around to me while one of his guys was wrestling. And we'd always do this. That was our signal that of our brotherhood. Even the horrible illness that he had many years back, and they thought he wouldn't make it. He fooled everybody, really. The worst thing about it was, of course, that he lost his ability to speak clearly or to speak at times. It was very hard to understand him. But I saw him, I think it was about a year ago at the Icons of Wrestling Convention in Philadelphia, and as soon as I saw he and his lovely wife Cindy, he looked at me and he just went right away. Cindy, his wife, got to be the most amazing woman ever, taking care of all his medical needs and everything for so many years. She helped keep Bobby among all of us. Many trips in cars with Bobby, going from town to town all over the United States. Many jokes told between the two of us. Always had fun with Bobby Heenan, and he never lost his spunk, never lost his spirit. So I want to say I love you, Bobby Heenan. I will miss you very, very, very much. When you talk about the best in the business, or the best even here on earth, Bobby Heenan comes to mind. Rest in peace, Bobby Heenan. From Bill Apter, September 17, 2017. I love you very much and always will.